Dragon Ball Genkidamatsuri has come and gone. We have a ton of new leaks from notable leakers in the community to talk about when it comes to the new Dragon Ball anime, such as the Dragon Ball Super remake and the Dragon Ball Galactic Patrol anime. We'll also be going over a bunch of information they revealed in the Genkidamatsuri stream. In case you did not get the chance to see it, they took it down. So if you want your catch up, everything that they talked about, we'll be going over that here, such as the new Dragon Ball Age 1000 game, which is basically Toriyama's new version of Dragon Ball Online. And then we'll also be getting into a bunch of other cool stuff that they unveiled at the event, such as Toriyama's original designs for Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta from Dragon Ball Daima. And considering that we got the brand new Galactic Patrol trailer, which was actually a beautiful tribute going over the history of Dragon Ball, and then it led into the Galactic Patrol reveal, I thought it would be very fitting to start off with the Galactic Patrol trailer. And more than that, let's take a look at some of these brand new Toriyama designs that they are revealing for the first time. So, in case you missed it, a lot of these designs shown here actually were never shown publicly for a while. So, just going off of memory, it's kind of hard to remember what has been public and what has not been public. But for example, apparently, for the first time, we're seeing Toriyama designed Kefla. There was an understanding for many people that Toriyama did not design Kefla and that the anime did that, but no, that's not the case. It looks like Toriyama did do Kefla. And there's Toriyama's Mai, so this is our first time seeing his version of Mai. And then if you look at Dragon Ball Super Broly, this is our first time seeing Toriyama's Vegeta, which is amazing. Have we seen Toriyama's King Cold here with the new colors? I'm not sure if we have actually, but yeah, here we have some more Toriyama designs leading into the Galactic Patrol reveal. And here's one that I found very interesting. No Beast Gohan design, but we do have Toriyama's Ultimate Gohan. So, I believe it was said that Toriyama designed Beast Gohan to be like blue-skinned or really pale and a lot more weird-looking. So I guess what they did was they basically redrew it. Kubota did. And so basically what you have here is Toriyama's original Ultimate Gohan design, and then Kubota actually redid this, basically this exact pose as Beast Gohan. So that looks amazing. Really cool stuff. And then Dragon Ball Daima, we got all these renders already. I will be going over the brand new original renders that Toriyama did of Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. But this is the part where things got crazy. And we'll be going over everything we know about this brand new Galactic Patrol anime. But yeah, there's the title, brand new logo, and then boom, here is our first look. It looks absolutely stunning. Now, Ioku did confirm during the panel, this is going to have cutting edge, stunning animation. This is not going to be releasing this year. This is going to be the brand new, I don't want to say the brand new start for Dragon Ball Super because we're getting the Super remake, which we'll get to in a moment. But this is going to be such an exciting time to be a Dragon Ball fan. So they did say that the animation will be good. Obviously, they know it needs to be good. They're not going to repeat the same mistake they did with Dragon Ball Super. I think we all know that now. I know a lot of people were doubting it. But let's get into the other information. So in case you were not aware, or if you never read the Dragon Ball Super Moro arc in the manga, they actually released more information about the anime on their official website. We'll just go ahead and skim through it here. Today at Genkidamatsuri, they announced Dragon Ball Super The Galactic Patrol. It's officially set for production. Please stay tuned as Dragon Ball continues to reach new heights. Today at Dragon Ball Genkidamatsuri, the Dragon Ball 40th anniversary event was held. There's a surprise announcement about Dragon Ball Super The Galactic Patrol. So this is where a lot of people are getting confused and some misinformation is getting out there. So it says here, this will be the story following the universe survival arc of the Dragon Ball anime of Dragon Ball Super from 2015 to 2018. It also appears in the manga as the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc. In it, the main character Goku and Vegeta work together with members of the Galactic Patrol, the Peacekeepers of the Galaxy, to begin a super-scale battle against a new enemy, Planet Eater Moro. So like I said, there is a little bit of misinformation. Some people are saying, oh my goodness, they're changing things from the manga because this is going to be set after the universe survival arc. There's also some confusion because people aren't quite grasping that this is going to be taking place after Dragon Ball Super Broly in terms of events. They're thinking this is confirming that it's changing things because it's set after the universe survival arc and it's not set after the Broly stuff. That's not the case. What they're saying here is that the original Dragon Ball Super anime ended in 2018, so whenever this picks up, it'll just pick up where that left off. So it's not like they're skipping over Dragon Ball Super Broly. They'll probably do it just like how they did in the manga, which is just a quick page of Dragon Ball Super Broly. I know a lot of people were not wanting a remake or a readaptation or a rehash of the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie in the anime. It doesn't look like that's what we're going to be getting in the Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol anime, which would make sense because they are redoing their Dragon Ball Super anime overall. We might be getting it there. So then it says here, the teaser visual showing Vegeta and Goku standing with the Galactic Patrol symbol is revealed. And it's basically saying that they're wearing a new uniform with the Galactic Patrol symbol on their chest, with stern expressions on their face and a large Galactic Patrol emblem in the background. The visual offers an exciting look at two warriors standing side by side. And then Anime AJ went ahead and talked about this and basically confirmed that it is going to be coming in late 2027. Sorry, I had to zoom out a little bit, so I had to zoom in just so we can get a little bit of a better picture. But yeah, if you look here, he says the projected time frame is late 2027. And this is a little bit confusing because of the Dragon Ball Super remake stuff, which we'll be getting into, because the timelines are a little odd. But like I said, we are going to be getting into the release. We are going to be getting into the release schedule and everything like that. It is absolutely insane. So obviously, I cannot let this whole trailer play out because Toei would destroy me. But this is Dragon Ball Super Beerus. Now, you've probably already seen this trailer, but you've also seen stunning new shots like this. Like, this looks amazing, right? And then you also have stuff that looks like it's basically ripped from the anime, but completely redone. Like this fight between Beerus and Goku, from what I'm understanding, this is completely reanimated. They are not using the original art. And this is where things get confusing. So it's not exactly a remake, and it's not exactly a remaster. It is something brand new. It is a mix of what you would want, like Dragon Ball Super Kai, but it's also a new Dragon Ball Super. We'll be getting into that as we get more into the insider information, the leaks, and the official information that they released. So, like, for example, this look at Goku as a Super Saiyan God is so much better than what we originally got in the anime. And you can tell that they're really, really, really wanting to basically make a new definitive version of Dragon Ball Super leading in to the Galactic Patrol arc. And then as you can see here, I believe at this point in the anime, Goku was a Super Saiyan, and now he is not, or maybe he was in his base form, and now he is still in his Super Saiyan God form, which is originally from the manga. That's another thing that we're going to get deeper into. They are using manga material. Originally, whenever I covered this last night, I originally said that it was just going to be bits of the manga. It looks like it's going to be much more than just bits of the manga. They're actually going to be moving into the manga territory much more. And then this is just absolutely stunning. Like, the way it's just flashing back and forth between them is amazing. Oh, that is amazing. Awesome. So, Dragon Ball Super Beerus. So, the point of me covering this right now is to basically kind of convince you guys why this is actually a cool idea, because I was resistant to a Dragon Ball Super remake at first until I found out how they're doing it, what they're doing, and it's just basically going to be the definitive version of Dragon Ball Super that is more in line with Akira Toriyama's original vision and the manga. So let's get into it. So Anime AJ said that this was called Dragon Ball Super Kai internally. You'll find Battle of Gods is now 6 episodes long. The Golden Frieza arc will follow with the same length later. It's a remaster, not a full remake. A more ambitious version of Fishman Island remastered, really. Then he also says Tadayoshi Yamamuro is still in charge, but you'll find the likes of Yuya Takahashi, Ryoki Onishi, and Takeo Ide involved. The new scenes are very nice. The OG episode 5 was redone, which we went over. It will also include the light manga elements, such as Goku's image training in Chapter 1. And in case you guys don't remember, that was whenever Goku was farming on the tractor, and then he took a break in the manga, and he image trained and basically fought against Cell and Frieza and Boo, things like that. So it was just basically a nice moment just to kind of catch you guys up. If you guys are reading Dragon Ball Super for the first time, you can see, oh my goodness, there's the big Dragon Ball Z villains. Then Vinixis, who I do consider reliable and credible, he has been actually dropping some new information as well, which seems to line up with everything we're learning. Vinixa says, so yeah, it'll be a mix of both anime and manga, but look forward to something extra. Don't go overboard with expectations, but yes, there's never before seen content in there. Then I went ahead and asked, so it's only Battle of Gods and Resurrection F? He says, no, the Universe 6 and 7 saga is also in production at the moment. I said, so they're just remaking Super to lead into the Moro stuff, but I'm a bit confused with the wording. Beerus and Galactic Patrol being in the titles. The Super anime will receive a new subtitle with each arc as it's ongoing then? And then he says, I don't know, MCU style LMAO, which would make sense. So I guess the idea would be that they are going to do Dragon Ball Super Beerus, and the next one could be Dragon Ball Super Golden Frieza, and then the next one could be, Dragon Ball Super 6-7. And then, if you go to the official website where they're actually announcing new information, so make sure you guys go to DragonBallSuper.com or DragonBall-Super.com, they literally say, Dragon Ball Beerus, which will be broadcast as an enhanced version, will be the start of a new and big chapter for Dragon Ball. Please look forward to future developments. And then we have also more information about how it's sticking closer to the manga. It's a globally popular manga by Akira Toriyama. It has captivated fans through a variety of media mixes, including TV, anime, movie, and games, and is a monster title that boasts extraordinary popularity all over the world. And then in 2026, the Dragon Ball anime, with original story and character design by Akira Toriyama, has been given a new start as Dragon Ball Beerus. This work has been enhanced with the addition of a significant number of new scenes, redrawn illustrations, and a reconstructed story that is very important. The latest visual expression brings even more realism to the battle scenes, and this enhanced version is here featuring a more precise reproduction of the original work. And if you go to the English version, so I was just using machine translation from the Japanese, which isn't entirely accurate, but if you go to the English version where it says the original work, it says the original manga in English. So it looks like they're literally not going to be like one-to-one with the Dragon Ball Super manga, but it's going to be more faithful to the Dragon Ball Super manga, which is why we're going to get scenes such as the image training with Goku, basically image training against, Cell and all that stuff. So this is not exactly what happened with Dragon Ball Z Kai, because it's going to be newly added scenes. Dragon Ball Z Kai did not add new scenes. They basically recut Dragon Ball Z, cut out a lot of the filler and a lot of the Toei original stuff, and tried to make things more accurate to Akira Toriyama's original manga. But they did not add any new scenes. They just took stuff out. This is going to be a bit of Dragon Ball Super Kai, where they are basically going over the anime, redoing things, adding effects, cleaning the line art, but they are also adding brand new scenes, which we also saw in the trailer, and they are also going to be making sure those brand new scenes are closer to Akira Toriyama's original manga. Now, in the panel, they did confirm, Akio Ioku did confirm that this had Akira Toriyama's involvement, so we may be seeing additional content that was not in the manga, the anime, or the movie. So the little brief synopsis here is basically exactly what everybody already knows about Dragon Ball Super Battle of Gods, but I do want to go over just how drastically different this animation is. So these are screenshots. The animation, the quality of the pictures are not exactly 1080p, but it gives you a rough idea of what we're working with here. So I wanted to go over not the new scenes necessarily, but the scenes that are basically being redone in the Dragon Ball Super Kai style, just so you guys understand what we're dealing with here. So this is the original Dragon Ball Super anime, and then here is the brand new version in Dragon Ball Super Beerus. Now, I am completely fine with a Dragon Ball Super remake, because the Dragon Ball Super we have now is not the best. Let's just be honest. And it looks like they know that, and they are redoing things here. So, and a lot of people did not like the extremely plastic look. It doesn't look like they're going to be getting rid of it in every single scene, but it looks like a lot of this is going to be redone to make it look a lot better. So as you can see here, kind of evocative more of Dragon Ball Super Broly, even though this is a Moro look. You can see they touched up the line art and everything. And then here is a new look from the Dragon Ball Super Beerus. And then here's the original. Look at that. This is not the best. Let's just be honest. This is not the best. It's okay, but this is perfect. This is amazing. This is like something out of Dragon Ball Daima. Okay? And then here is a new shot from the Dragon Ball Super Beerus trailer. Again, stunning. And then here it is in Dragon Ball Super's anime. Again, a little problematic, right? And then the most exciting part we were all waiting for. Here's a new shot from the Dragon Ball Super Beerus trailer. And then, well, here we go. And then here's the new shot, or the original shot from the Dragon Ball Super Battle of Gods anime. And then here's another shot of the brand new version from Dragon Ball Super Beerus. It looks like I accidentally saved it off. But yeah, here's the original. And then here is the new shot. So looks absolutely stunning. So I guess the general understanding is that it is releasing 2026 fall. And it is going to be based off Akira Toriyama's most original ideas. So I guess if there's stuff that he did in the manga that is additive and doesn't completely change how it is in the Dragon Ball Super movie or anime, then they'll be doing that. But we are still early. A lot of this is still developing, and a lot of questions are out there, such as, how does this work with the Galactic Patrol anime? So I'm assuming, since this is going to be 6 episodes, and then Frieza is going to be 6 episodes, and then they'll continue, maybe we could see a seasonal strategy. But again, that would almost not line up with the release of the Galactic Patrol arc in late 2027 if they stick to that. Because if we are going off the assumption that they are going to be doing 13 episodes of One Piece and then 13 episodes of Dragon Ball Super, then that would not be enough time, because this is going to be coming out in fall 2026, which is going to be later this year. So if we get 13 episodes of Beerus and Frieza, then next year we would probably be getting 13 episodes of Goku Black and the Tournament of Power, which would be interesting, but I don't think they are going to pace those as quickly as they are going to pace these movie retellings. And we also have to do the Universe 6 and 7 tournament as well. So maybe Galactic Patrol premieres in early 2028. Maybe this isn't seasonal like we all thought. And that part of the story is still developing. As soon as we find more out, I will be sure to let you guys know. But yeah, that's basically everything that we learned about the 2 brand new Dragon Ball animes, or anime rather, with Beerus coming out this year, and then the Galactic Patrol anime reportedly coming out next year. And, like I said, on the website, they're literally saying this will be the start of a new big chapter for Dragon Ball. Look forward to future developments. So they are basically directly telling you, this is not just Dragon Ball Battle of Gods. Not only do we have leakers like Anime AJ saying that they're going to be doing the Dragon Ball, Resurrection F stuff, but they're going to go beyond that. So they're basically just redoing the entirety of Dragon Ball Super. Again, I don't want to hard confirm it because it's still early days. So far, all we know for sure is Beerus, Golden Frieza, and Universe 6, 7. But it does seem like things are leaning that way. And I know a lot of people are kind of not the most excited about this, but I do see how this could be great, because it's basically going to be a new definitive version of Dragon Ball Super that's more accurate to the manga, so we don't have any more contradictions between the anime and manga like we originally had, and it's going to be more in line with Akira Toriyama's original vision, and it's going to be a great version of Dragon Ball Super to show your friends. That way, you don't have to tell them, hey, just skip the first 30 episodes because it's horrible animation, it's very slowly paced, it's just awful. None of that anymore, so that is very, very exciting. Alright, and before we move on to Akira Toriyama's very own Age 1000, which is basically his own version of Dragon Ball Online or Xenoverse 3, I wanted to take a moment and appreciate Akira Toriyama's art and everything that he did for Dragon Ball Daima. So, in case there were still any doubters out there, Akira Toriyama did indeed design Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta and Super Saiyan 4 Goku for Dragon Ball Daima, and they look absolutely stunning. So it looks like Akira Toriyama originally forgot Goku's tail here, but I'm assuming that they probably caught that and added it back in. So absolutely stunning stuff here. Akira Toriyama consistently cooking. He will be sincerely missed. Alright, and in case you missed it, Akira Toriyama presents Dragon Ball Age 1000, which that's just the working project name. And this is also a brand new Akira Toriyama character. Now, maybe this is going to end up being a custom character and we just haven't seen that yet, similar to what happened with Xenoverse. But if this is somebody brand new that we are going to be playing as in this new game, I would be fine with that because he has that unique Akira Toriyama look. And I also like how he's so futuristic looking because this does take place in the year 1000. So this isn't your typical gi or anything like that. And if you kept up with my channel, you would know that I played a lot of Dragon Ball Online. I'm a big Xenoverse fan. This takes place in the year 1000, which is exactly when Dragon Ball Online takes place. So this does appear to be Akira Toriyama's very own version of Dragon Ball Online. And we'll get into what that could possibly indicate. It's kind of like a redo because, you know, they also canceled Dragon Ball Heroes, which was taking a lot from Dragon Ball Online. And we originally thought it was because of Dragon Ball Daima. That may be the case, obviously. But it may also be the case that this was also coming out that was going to contradict it because this is playing in that same territory, if you will, of Dragon Ball Online, Dragon Ball Heroes, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, that whole universe of content. And it looks absolutely stunning. I think this is just a CGI trailer, but it's very, very good looking. So this could be a new Goku. So you know how we got Xeno Trunks and Xeno Goku and everything like that? This could be a new Goku, but I hesitate to understand how that could be possible because of the fact that Goku should be dead by this point. But maybe he's seeing like a hologram of Goku or a clone of Goku, or it's something like in Dragon Ball Xenoverse or Dragon Ball Heroes where you're time traveling. Something like that. Or yeah, Dragon Ball Online where you're just time traveling. Or maybe not. Who knows? We basically got very little information officially about this, other than the fact that you need to tune into Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour later this year in just several months. Not actually later this year, it's actually just in a few months, but it looks amazing. And yeah, it looks like this is probably just a new Goku design. Let me slow down this this trailer so we can actually get a look, because it kind of looks like his regular outfit, but kind of not, because this looks like more like, I don't know if the exact word for it, it's almost like bands around his ankles. And then you can kind of see his sleeves are slightly different around here. Again, I could be hallucinating right now. I could be hallucinating. But yeah, I mean, no, wait, this is definitely a different Goku, because if you look closely here, his belt is like hanging off to the side. This isn't in the front. So this is a brand new Goku design, it looks alike. Okay. This is definitely a brand new Goku. Some people were speculating this could be Goku Jr. I don't know. That would be interesting, I guess. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. So yeah, there you go. A brand new version of Goku coming for this game, similar to how we got Xeno Trunks and Xeno Goku. And then boom, your brand new character turns into a Super Saiyan. Now, I don't think I can play the music because that might get me struck, but it's also like a very new hip-hoppy beat, which is awesome. So kind of just, again, showing you that it's different than your regular Dragon Ball. This says a new game project, Age 1000, coming 2027. So I guess we'll just leave it on this look at our brand new character here while we discuss other things that they announced in the Genkidamatsuri. So they did say they can't talk about too much, but Akira Toriyama was deeply involved with this project. Now, there is this thing which I like to call the Akira Toriyama canon, where basically whatever he worked on is more definitive than things that he did not have much involvement with. So, if you want to mention the word canon or continuity, this is Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball Online, basically. So he was originally involved with Dragon Ball Online, but apparently with the way Akio Ioki was talking, he's much more involved with this, especially down to like designing a whole bunch of stuff. Kind of similar, I'm guessing, to how involved he was with other things like the Dragon Ball Online thing, but much more involved than how he was with Dragon Ball Online. He was also involved with Dragon Ball Daima, but I'm not sure how involved he was with Age 1000. But according to Akio Ioku, he was deeply involved. So this is going to be basically Not a brand new version of Dragon Ball Online, but I just don't think it's a coincidence that this takes place in the same year that Dragon Ball Online takes place. So there is still a lot we don't know about this, so I will keep you guys posted as we get brand new information. But it does look stunning, and I will be waiting. And Genkidamatsuri also brought us a brand new look at Sparking Zero's latest DLC. Now, when the trailers started, they started with Super Saiyan Blue Goku fighting with Broly alongside Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So that's very interesting. I wonder how that's going to play out. And we also have new characters. So as you can see here, we got Super Saiyan Bardock from, of course, the episode of Bardock OVA, which from what I always understood it to be was kind of a promotional tie-in to Dragon Ball Heroes. So it's always cool when we have some interesting, cool stuff like that going on in the official games, where they're pulling from other material. Now, this is something I am extremely excited about. Demon King Piccolo. And as you'll see as we go through, this isn't the only OG Dragon Ball we're getting in this. So I was extremely angry whenever they originally revealed Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and it was all coming out, and they cut so much content from OG Dragon Ball. It was extremely, extremely disrespectful, and I'm extremely happy that it's finally back. Extremely, extremely happy. And for you Super 17 fans, here you go. They brought back Super 17. Which is extremely cool as well. So they are literally fixing Sparking Zero with this DLC as we speak, with new costumes. So here's a new super attack with Goku and Vegeta, a new costume of Gohan from the BoJack movie, which was data mined a long time ago. It's finally here. And that's extremely ripped straight from BoJack. So let's actually slow this down here as we break it down, because there's a lot of stuff that they quickly go through. So we're finally getting Roshi's Island, the Kame House. Pretty cool. We're getting a new mode, which appears to be a new sort of story mode based off the areas that I guess you can fly to. So that's interesting. Kind of taking more from the original series. Limit breaking. So here we have Goku Black and a look at Devilman's feet. Grandpa Gohan with Master Roshi, which is also very cool. More OG Dragon Ball. Champa and Beerus. Our first look at Mercenary Tao. So that's pretty cool. Mercenary Tao is back. Zangia versus Krillin. And Pikkon is finally here for you Pikkon fans. Pretty cool. Very exciting. So the new DLC coming soon. So I'm extremely happy with this. This looks exactly what Dragon Ball. This looks like exactly what Sparking Zero needed. They're adding in content that should have been there at launch, but also some new stuff like some cool new super attacks, Super Saiyan Bardock, and this new mode, which I'm not exactly sure what it's going to end up being. They'll probably talk about that more at Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour. So they also released a roadmap that was not exactly looked at in the Dragon Ball Genkidamatsuri event, and it looks pretty good. So they're bringing back Mission 100 from Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi, the earlier original trilogy. It's finally back. It's going to be a free update launching tomorrow, so maybe by the time you're seeing this video, it's already out. Then they are also adding another free update, Survival Mode, in the spring, and in the summer, that's where we're going to be getting this brand new DLC pack, which is promising to be absolutely massive. And then if you're on Switch or Switch 2, you're pretty much screwed. You're still going to be waiting for Dragon Ball Z, DLC 1, and then the other DLCs, DLC 2, DLC 3, and the extra DLC that adds a shallot. So yeah, there you go, and he's basically just talking about it. We will keep doing our best to meet your expectations. And please continue to enjoy Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Thank you. So, there you have it. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is literally doing their best to save their game. Alright, so there's your breakdown of Genkidamatsuri, all the big stuff that is going to be the most relevant to most fans around the globe. A lot of cool information from the event. No announcement on the Dragon Ball Super manga though, which is pretty disappointing because of this issue of the brand new Dragon Ball Super Moro arc anime. That it's presenting a new issue where we're probably going to go back to how the original Dragon Ball Super went, where Dragon Ball Super Moro is going to be releasing. Then they'll go on to Granola, and then what are they going to do without the manga continuing? So at the end of this video, I'm going to be speculating and going over things that I think might be happening or might not. Like I said, all the news stuff we just covered. So this is just going to be the ranting / discussion section of the video. It's going to be a little long, but bear with me because I'm very interested to see what you guys think about this. So here's my theory. Dragon Ball Super Beerus is going to remake the original Dragon Ball Super anime. We don't know if it's going to be seasonal or not as of now. But the Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol arc has its own subtitle, Dragon Ball Super The Galactic Patrol. So what if we are in a situation where, and also keep in mind, this is scheduled for 2027. If Dragon Ball Super is being remade in its entirety, then we're going to go from Beerus to Resurrection F to U67 to Goku Black to Tournament of Power to Broly, and then to, of course, the Galactic Patrol stuff. So what if we're in a situation where they remake the Dragon Ball Super anime and they do Dragon Ball Super Broly in an anime, and that's ongoing, so that will be weekly, and that could take us from 2026 to 2027, and then they do the Galactic Patrol arc, which is seasonal. That would be extremely fun and exciting. And maybe they do that. Again, that's just my opinion. Who knows? What we do know, though, is that Dragon Ball Super Beerus is coming out in fall 2026. And then Anime AJ leaked that the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc is coming in 2027. Or rather, late 2027 is the internal scheduling. So that's where they're aiming to get it out. And we also know that they are going to be redoing Resurrection F, another leak from Anime AJ. And then other insiders, such as Vinixis, says that they are also currently working on U67. So, with all that said, are you guys excited for this? I know I am. And hopefully the Dragon Ball Super anime remake announcement, I know that will be disappointing to some people, but I think the devastation of that, like it basically softened the blow with this announcement of the Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol arc. So, I'm very happy to announce that I do plan to be bringing back my podcast, the live podcast, Dragon Discourse. We went on hiatus because there really wasn't much to talk about, but now there's going to be a lot to talk about. I'm not sure when we're going to be going live or recording videos or if it'll be membership exclusive or what, but I do think that it's time to bring the more live discussion back, so that's going to be coming back as well for the channel. But yeah, guys, there's your Genkidamatsuri wrap up. A lot of fun, exciting announcements. This is the best timeline we're living in. Again, I could really do with the Dragon Ball Super manga returning. Maybe they're just going to announce it any day in V-Jump. I wish they announced it at this event. That would have been even more exciting, but maybe we get an announcement in V-Jump. I do think that they have to bring it back. I don't think Dragon Ball Super's manga is over, because if they do the Dragon Ball Super Granola arc, and then they end it with Black Frieza showing up in the anime, what are they going to do next? I cannot imagine that they are not going to allow Toyotaro to continue to cook. Maybe it could be a new situation where Toyotaro is working with Akio Ioku instead of Toriyama. Maybe they are just going to have a more collaborative nature with Uchida and Akio Ioku and Toyotaro, similar to how Toriyama was involved. Who knows? All that is still yet to come out. But one thing I do want to talk about in this video is the fact that people were railing against Akio Ioku for a while. And I do have a video called The Trial of Akio Ioku. Did Dragon Ball executives producer destroy the franchise? And a lot of people had this wrong perception of Ioku, like he's the one that kept the Dragon Ball Super anime from returning and things like that. So you can watch my video for all that information where I debunk all of that, but to just basically quickly debunk that here, what happened was Capsule Corporation Tokyo was basically founded before Akira Toriyama died, and Capsule Corporation Tokyo was basically allowing Toriyama to do a lot of this cool stuff. Originally, Akio Ioku was separated from Shueisha because he approved a Sandland anime behind their backs. And everything that's come out about Akio Ioku since then shows that he wants to do more anime and video game content, and Shueisha and Toei Animation were just dragging their feet. And with Akio as executive producer of Dragon Ball, we literally have him to thank for this cool new stuff, like Toriyama's very own Dragon Ball Age 1000, where he was basically consulting and helping them world build with this brand new world. And now we got the Dragon Ball Super Galactic Patrol arc, which is going to be an anime adaptation of the manga. And we are also getting a remake, which is going to be more faithful to the manga, more faithful to Akira Toriyama's original vision. It's going to be shortened a lot with better pacing and way better animation. This is Ioku's doing, and hopefully people appreciate Ioku more now. A lot of people were being very mean to Ioku, but apparently he's literally been working to save this thing. And again, he's not perfect. They are basically advertising this as a purely Akira Toriyama affair, Galactic Patrol, even though Toyotaro had a lot to do with it. In interviews, Toyotaro's talked about how this is mainly his story, with Akira Toriyama approving a lot of it and then doing some work. So that is one criticism you can make of Akio Ioku, is that he really wants to put Akira Toriyama at the forefront so much that it's to the detriment of the other creators that are involved with the series. So hopefully that changes, and I imagine it would have to change once the Dragon Ball Super manga continues and they do adapt more stuff from the Dragon Ball Super manga. They would have to start crediting Toyotaro more, I imagine, or they could just do some more word salad stuff where it says original work by Akira Toriyama, stuff like that. So this is a bunch of credits from the original project here, like the original 40th anniversary project, which I'm not sure if I can play for copyright. But in the credits, it does say planning Shueisha and Capsule Corporation Tokyo. So yeah, Ioku is the GOAT as of now. He's not perfect, but he's doing what he can with the franchise, and it looks absolutely stunning. So if you guys are excited about the future of Dragon Ball and you want coverage from Dragon Ball news, all types of news, whether it's video games, anime, comics, or manga rather, please subscribe to my channel. You can go through all my videos, you can go through all my weekly news videos. I really do my best to cover the Dragon Ball video games, the most popular ones, not every single mobile game, but I do my best to cover the movies, the anime, the manga. And I'm just a fan, and I'm excited, and this is the best time to be a Dragon Ball fan. So I will keep you guys updated and keep you guys informed about all the new stuff that is going to be coming out. Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour is the next big event from Dragon Ball that we are going to be getting. It's going to be big. We are getting a reveal of Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima there for fighters. That's going to be cool. We're getting more information about Dragon Ball Age 1000. And maybe another look at the Dragon Ball Super Beerus anime, because they did Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour before and showed us another look at Dragon Ball Daima. So I would imagine we're going to get some more information about Beerus there as well. Anyways, guys, this was a much longer video than I normally do, but I had to make it longer because there was so much information to get out and so much stuff to discuss. But yeah, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it there before I suffer from a lack of oxygen because I've been talking so long. So yeah, very exciting stuff. Whenever I saw this reveal, I was crying. This is extremely exciting. It's time to get hype. Dragon Ball is back. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to keep up to date with all things Dragon Ball news and commentary. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace off.